from our little video beforehand, we did a lot in 2020 to, in light of the pandemic. So obviously it was a change for all of us. We had different workspaces. Maybe, obviously we weren't in our classrooms. We were doing things virtually. So I wanted to get an idea, sort of gauge how teaching was for you and what you did in lieu of dissection labs, since you couldn't be in your science lab. Okay, you ended up skipping the dissections. Okay, somebody used online dissections. So obviously with Animal Learn, we had to really switch it up with the things that we do to promote our resources. And we became experts at putting together virtual booths. So one of the things that we did is we put together this Bitmoji booth. And we were able to highlight a lot of the resources that we have to offer in a fun way. And because COVID forced classrooms to close, teachers were really excited about the resources that we had to offer. Obviously, technology became paramount, and we came to the rescue by providing dissection lab learning without having to cut up animal specimens. So who we are. So Animal Learn is a program that promotes humane science education resources. We have a free loan program, which Bailey will go a little bit more into detail later about how you can borrow. But we also offered, for the pandemic, we put together a comprehensive listing of dissection resources that were either free or low cost for teachers to be able to access for hybrid or remote teaching spaces. So I've spoken to many a science teacher pre-pandemic who didn't want to do dissection labs with their students, whether for safety reasons, because they didn't want students to have scalpels, or for ethical reasons. But post-pandemic labs have given teachers the opportunity to see how to dissect without specimens. And I would ask you to think about where these animals are coming from, and is it really necessary to dissect when there are many other resources that are fun and engaging without the yuck factor? And what we'll do is go through a lot of the different resources and with some really good deals for teachers to be able to bring to your classroom. So one of the reasons why we advocate for humane science is because of the students. There are many progressive students who are passionate about speaking out for animals, about animal protection. Maybe they're vegetarian or vegans, or they are interested in climate change. So Animal Learn works with students like this, and like the students pictured, who take a stand for animals. All of these students have advocated on behalf of dissection choice, and are, in fact, some of them have even spoken out at their legislative, to their legislators on behalf of dissection choice laws. Now, just as a side note, you should know that there are currently 21 states that give students the right to opt out of dissection, whether it be through a policy or also through a state law. Just wanted to also say the student in the middle, Genesis Butler, is a California high school student who at the age of 10 created her own nonprofit focusing on climate change, and also has advocated on behalf of dissection choice. And she recently, I learned, was the model for an American Girl doll. So a lot of these students are really taking a stand and embodying what a lot of students are feeling, which I think is to be advocates. In light of all the things that are going on in today's world with social justice, justice for animals is also another issue that I think students really care about. Now, another student that I urge you to check out, she did her own TED Ed talk. She's a high school student in Massachusetts. Her name is Jenna Ward, and she did a science project asking her, which she collected data on the number of frogs that were dissected in her school, and wanted to encourage her school to stop dissecting frogs. So she put together a really great video called The Future of Frog Dissection. And if you have the time, it's a 5-minute TED Ed talk. I would urge you to listen to Jenna's talk on this topic. She's very passionate about frogs and cares about them. So if you're interested in the video, definitely take a picture of that link and check it out. So other reasons to consider a dissection, why it may not be such a great thing to do is that it's a decades-old practice. In fact, today we have immersive technology and realistic synthetics that provide superior learning experiences, as you'll soon learn. Secondly, dissection negatively impacts the environment. Specimens are typically preserved with toxic chemicals, and frogs, who are the most commonly dissected species, are typically taken from the wild, thus having a negative impact on ecosystems. Finally, dissection, as I said, is ethically unjust, especially when we consider the millions of animal lives lost for the majority of students who may never enter a field of science. I would ask you all to consider non-animal dissection resources because they're earth-friendly, there are no toxic chemicals used or there are no animals that are taken from natural habitats. They are also effective learning tools. Studies show that students learn just as well as those doing wet labs. And they provide a cost savings to schools' limited budgets. They're more humane, and they provide 21st century STEM learning. So I was originally going to show a video of Merge EDU. It's Merge EDU has been around for the past couple years, and I actually learned about Merge a couple years ago at an NSTA show that I went to. A teacher approached me and let me know that there was a really amazing app that you could hold a heart in your hand or a brain. So I checked it out, and I was really, really excited to learn about the augmented and virtual capabilities of this program. And Merge has really expanded, and they have this whole platform now that allows people to share my screen. And as part of the kit that we sent the paper Merge cube. So it's basically just a foam cube, and this is an idea of what the foam cube actually looks like. And this is the paper cube that we sent to you. And you can also download your own paper cube if you go to mergeedu.com. And what's really great is you can download that app and use the cube to look at different things like a frog's life cycle or the human anatomy as well. And they have a whole teacher platform. What's great about the Merge EDU program is that you can trial it for 2 weeks. So I would urge you to check out some of the things that Merge has to offer. Victory XR is another amazing VR company. If you have gotten the opportunity to put on an Oculus headset and to enter another world, I think that this is the wave of the future. We have been using the Victory XR program for about a year now, and we're able to demonstrate it at, I think, a show in 2019, which is the image here of a young student who was really excited about exploring a frog dissection in a virtual classroom. So what's amazing is that Victory XR has partnered with Carolina Biological, and they now have made all of these dissections available for science teachers. In fact, this is in their catalog. Virtual reality technology is an effective teaching tool as a comparable alternative to live dissections. So I think if Carolina is promoting it, it's something for you to look into and explore. It's amazing. If you haven't tried it, I would urge you to do so. you actually put on the headset and you're transported to a science class where a science teacher walks you through the dissections of a frog or a cat or fetal pig and the different organs. And then you have the table set right next to you and you can pick up the different tools and explore the anatomy while the teacher goes through the different components of the anatomy of whatever specimen you are dissecting. So eMind is another company that I would urge you to look into. They have some pretty reasonable resources. It's a software that has content for the frog, the fish, the fly, the pig, the cat, and the invertebrate. It's NGSS aligned, and they have assessments. So if you are interested, they are offering 25% off of their site license, which is pretty reasonable. All you have to do is enter the promo code AnimalLearn. So ZSpace is another really great company, and I wanted to share a video so that you can see. And what's great is with the ZSpace, they have an all-in-one inclusive with their software and hardware. So if you're interested in using this, you would buy the entire system for the school.
AR/VR is not nearly as expensive as buying 46 hearts for my students to dissect every single year with all of those consumable goods. And I have students that, for health concerns, can't participate in live dissections, for ethical concerns, don't want to participate in live dissections, or who were absent. I can't keep a lab set up for 2 weeks, but I can always instantly pull up an AR/VR platform, have them experience it, have them give me their thoughts, and we can move on with the lesson.
So that's ZSpace. And then let me just show you this other video. I don't know if you can see it. But this is a company called BodyViz.
With access to BodyViz, we would have software that has over 1,000 real 3D MRI and CT data. That's not something that we can get access to. We could look at a 2D X-ray maybe, but this is really augmenting our library data for what students have access to. Students would use this frequently. Really, the data that they give us will be on any type of anatomy. So we have scans, like if we wanted to look at nervous system, we can look at a brain tumor, for example. We have scans for bone fractures, really for any unit that they could be dealing with. This is going to allow teachers to be so engaging because we'll really be able to look at real data and get to give students the chance to manipulate the anatomy. So they'll get to look at 3D structures and actually flip them around versus just something that we look at in a textbook. We would be only the second high school in the entire United States to have BodyViz. To be able to look at anatomy in 3D is really a huge advantage.
You're getting exposure to, I mean, you diagnosed with brain. I saw brain mass. It looked like, I saw abdominal aneurysm, and I didn't even know what that was until I got to med school. So I think it's a great thing for them to get early exposure and find out if they really want to go into medicine.
It's a fabulous opportunity for any student in modern day, and I wish I would have had it going to nursing school because it would have helped a lot.
I think it's great for interactive learning for the students. I think it's a great step up in terms of what we learned with anatomy in college. So I think it's got great value, and it's got me excited that I've got grandkids that they'll be able to take advantage of.
So great. I just wanted to give you an idea of some of the amazing products that are out there. This is BodyViz, and they've been utilizing a lot of a lot of teachers have been utilizing this for remote learning. Now, a lot of you may also be looking into hands-on models and tactile resources. SynFrog is a company that recently has developed this realistic frog model that is similar to an actual frog model. And what's great about it is reusable. So they've done this by creating these organ pucks that go into the center of the frog, and you can dissect those and then reuse the frogs. So one of the great things about the SynFrog is that we are going to be giving one away. I don't know if you can see it. There's the glare, but it's we're giving one of these away at the end of our session. So definitely stick around for that so you can see how realistic it really is. It's by this company called Syndaver, and they also have created these realistic human models. So definitely go to their website, check out some of the capabilities of the SynFrog. Another realistic frog model that I urge you to check out, and they're offering this buy one, get one free for NSTA attendees, is the Rescue Critters frog model. What's unique about the Rescue Critters frog model is that it offers the complete anatomy of the brain and of the mouth. And it also comes with an organ insert, labels chart, and stabilizing blocks. So definitely check out the Rescue Critters model as well. And just as an aside, we have a YouTube page where you can see some of these products in action. I didn't want to show too many of our videos to you right now because I feel like you can explore those on your own. But definitely go to the Animal Learn YouTube page to check out some of the different models and things that I'm talking about here. Now, a lot of you may have heard about Anatomy in Clay. It is a company that allows you to build on human anatomy, human skeletal systems. And it allows you to learn the anatomy by building the anatomy. They've been around for several years, and you may typically see them at science teacher conferences where they're there demonstrating their product. What's really awesome about Anatomy in Clay is this new offering, their new test drive program, where they're allowing people to borrow the AIC systems and then building on it and then returning it or having the option to buy it. So Anatomy in Clay is a tried and true alternative to cat dissection. In many cases, there have been studies that have been done. In fact, recently, there's a study that Animal Learn participated in and assisted with that was recently published in the American Biology Teacher. So if you have the latest copy of the American Biology Teacher, definitely check out this latest study, which is comparison of the effects of clay modeling and cat cadaver dissection. So this was done at a California high school. So definitely check that out. Or we could also send you a link to a copy of that if you were interested. This is another resource that I wanted to also let you all know about. I don't know if you've heard about it, but there's these two high school students in New York who, during the pandemic, created their own website of educational content and dissected specimens and did a really thorough job of it. And it's all free. And their videos range from about 10 minutes to about 20 minutes or less. And they go through all of the commonly dissected animals and organs. So if you're interested, and I know that they've been used, the videos have been used as supplemental watching for teachers and demonstration for teachers, but it could also be used for those students that don't want to dissect or have ethical objections. So definitely check out O-Worm. Go to their website and you can check out all the different resources that they have. Check out their YouTube page and you'll see all of the content, really amazing content that they've created as high school students. This is another company that we really love. We met them at a NSTA show a couple of years ago, and it's Getting Nerdy with Mel and Gertie, and they are these 3D modeling systems that were created by two former science teachers. and they wanted to create something that was very realistic. And they've created models for most of the commonly dissected animals. And they are offering a discount to NSTA participants and attendees. So if you're interested in obtaining one of these really cool and thorough dissection models, I would urge you to take advantage of their discount there. And that is one that they've recently promoted, the squid. So obviously, humane dissection labs are very easily implemented at all different levels of education. K to 12, we've got their products for college and university, as well as veterinary and medical. And one of the things that Animal Learn is really proud of is our loan program, which is called the Science Bank. And this year we relaunched our website to make it even more functional for teachers and others to be able to borrow from us. And basically what it is, it allows teachers to borrow products, models, and other items, including augmented and virtual reality resources like the Merge Cube and headset. You can borrow them for free. And it's a really great way to try things out. We are the largest free loan program of dissection alternatives in the United States. As I said, we got our start in 1996. And over the years, we've had thousands of teachers borrow from us, parents. We have hundreds of high quality products, like I said, models, other virtual resources that we have there linked at free or low cost. So why should you use the Science Bank? For many different reasons that we've already gone over, because animals are taken typically from the wild. Also, animals can be purpose bred or farm raised, and they can spread disease. Toxic chemicals can be used to preserve specimens. And it can be a health hazard, dissection. As we know, when you have those formaldehyde filled specimens in your classroom, that can really cause a lot of health issues like asthma and such. And obviously millions of lives are wasted. So that's one reason to use our Science Bank. Another reason is that you can really save a lot of money. Obviously we've been talking about the cost of dissection alternatives and how you may have to invest in technology. But what we've done last year, in fact, we just updated our cost comparison study, and comparing a typical high school classroom use of animals to alternatives that would be purchased one time and then a low upkeep for the cost. It's basically a savings. And I would imagine now with the pandemic, you're not going to be able to use one or two specimens for students. Each student would probably have to have a specimen to be able to dissect. So that's even more money that you're investing in specimens, since you need to practice social distancing or something like that. So if you're interested in learning and seeing our most recent cost comparison and learning how your school can save money by using alternatives, I urge you to download this document. There's also comparative studies that show that students can learn just as well from dissection alternatives as they can from traditional wet labs. As I pointed you to that most recent study that was done in the latest American Biology Teacher issue, I would check that out. And we also have on our website at animallearn.org, you can check out our comparative studies document with all of those studies listed. So who uses the Science Bank? This is just some images of people who have utilized our products. We have the bone clones models, as you can see on the left. We also have other models that have been very popular, but we also loan out to a lot of veterinary students and clinics who like to demonstrate CPR before they're actually going to be practicing on live animals. So they've used our rescue critters mannequins, which have been very popular. And as you can see on the right, the students really enjoyed utilizing those to learn those skills. But the most important thing is, how do you learn how to use the science bank? And Bailey is going to give you an overview of how to do that. So take it away, Bailey.
Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
All right, great. My name's Bailey. I'm the Assistant Director of Animal Learn, and I manage the Science Bank. So it's really simple to borrow from the Science Bank. I sent the link earlier in the chat. It's just thesciencebank.org, and it's easy as borrow, learn, return. We have a really simple website. All you have to do is be 18 or older and live within the continental United States. We will send you, you place your order on the website using the, the checkout system and everything like that. Then I'll contact you with the terms and conditions, which you'll have to sign. And if you're an educator, as long as you have an affiliation with a school, you don't have to provide any further verification steps. But if you're an individual borrowing without school affiliation, we just ask that we can verify like a credit card or whatever in case items are broken or lost in the time that they're being loaned out. So after that, you just keep your loan as long as you need it. We will establish a loan period before you receive the items. And then, you'll simply package them in the boxes that they came in and return it to us with the address that I provide you. And we do just ask that borrowers cover their cost of return shipping, since everything else is coordinated and free for the borrower. And it's always a good idea just to insure packages when they're on the way back, just in case items do get lost. You don't incur the financial responsibility for that. So we have a lot of great products in the Science Bank, like the Merge Cube, which we were talking about earlier. It's an AR tool that we do have cubes and headsets. So all you need is the iPad or the cell phone or whichever technology you're going to use to access the Merge apps, which if you do borrow from us, you can access Merge EDU on a free trial basis. So it's a great opportunity to try it for free before you would maybe buy it and use it for your classrooms, more long term. And then the Victor XR or the Victor AR banner is really cool. It's an AR tool that you can just hang in your classroom, and you use your tablet or your phone or whatever and point it at the banner, and it turns into an augmented reality body that you can interact with right in front of your eyes. And it's another thing that the app is free for, and we send out to you for free, so you can try this cool tool without much of a financial investment at all.
Hey, Bailey, I just wanted to interject that we recently added to the Science Bank, Victory XR has created these human anatomy books. So if you borrow these from Animal Learn, all you have to do is download the app to be able to utilize the technology with the book, which makes the pictures come to life of the different organs. So I just thought I'd let you know about that too.
Yeah, and again, the apps are free for these tools. So, and then we have a lot of models that, as educators, I'm sure you're aware, can run into the hundreds of dollars. So we do have, there's the Alte cat dissection model, the Bobbit fetal pig dissection model there. An Alte rat model. We have a simulated frog dissection kit, 4D vision dog anatomy model, a chick life cycle set. There's a really wide variety of models and mannequins that you can borrow from the Science Bank completely for free, and things that might cost you a couple $100, over $1,000 even if you were to purchase these items for yourself. So those are things that you can also borrow from the Science Bank as well. And then, as I said earlier, we have a lot of great virtual resources. I linked it earlier in the chat, the virtual resources page. You can find free virtual dissection software, such as Frog Guts, which is Results may vary because it is a completely free software, but it is there for people who are able to access and download it. People use it for their classrooms. Unfortunately, it's not compatible with Chromebooks, but if you do have other technology in your classroom, it's something you can try or offer students if they don't want to dissect. We also have a 3D printable frog model. If you have a 3D printer, you can just plug the blueprints in and get yourself a 3D printed frog model, Chromebook compatible anatomy apps, and links to just lots of resources at free or low cost, and links to our partners and everything like that. So our virtual resources page has a lot of great stuff for educators. And then, as I linked earlier, our YouTube channel has a lot of videos from the companies that we've been talking about. If you want to look more in depth at the different partners that we have with more high-end products and software that we can't necessarily loan out due to them being software or whatever, but you can check out for yourself and see if that's something that you'd like. And then finally, we are very, very active on social media. We post little tidbits, we post promos and giveaway or promo codes and stuff like that from our partners often. So if you're interested in following us on social media, our handles are there. We're at Animal Learn on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, and on Instagram at animallearn_AABS. We also have a Humane Science Educators Facebook group, which if you would like to join is at bit.ly/HSE group. And here's the contact information as well.
Anyone have any questions?
How many kits can be borrowed from a time at the science bank? Should each instructor borrow kits, or can an institution borrow them? Institutions can borrow the kits. There's going to need to be a point of contact to sign. Like, obviously you can do so on behalf of an institution with an institution's card. But how many things can be borrowed at a time from the science bank? We don't really have like a limit.
It depends on how much, I guess, we have in stock.
Yeah.
We are, we're a small loan program. We don't have, it really depends on the product and how, we may only have a few of the cat models, for example, and we may have more of like the smaller frog models. Just to give you an idea.
Yeah, it definitely, we are first come, first serve too. So if, some of the products are more high demand than others, but like for the simulated frog dissection kit, for example, I sent somebody 10 of them for like learning stations. So if you do know you will need something or in larger quantities, I'd, reach out via email in advance. But we're pretty flexible with the amount of things that we can send out. So
yeah, just let us know. And usually it's good to prepare. Obviously the spring is a busy time for dissections typically. So, make sure that you contact us early so that we can secure the items and so that they're, in stock for you to be able to utilize. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for coming. We really appreciate you taking the time to learn about all of the different resources that you can utilize in your post-COVID classroom. We hope that this content was informative to you. And please let us know if there's any questions that you have or anything else that we can address at this point in time. But thank you all so much.